Hi, first grade. Happy spelling. So, welcome to day 2 of spelling. So, first grade, you probably remember what we do on day 2. We practice writing our sentences, and then we also add a second detailed sentence. This is my helper, Rosie, today. Hopefully, she looks like she's going to fall asleep. Hopefully, she can be a good helper for us. But she's probably just going to go lay down. She's not a very hard worker. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and we will start spelling. So grab a piece of paper and a pencil. And share my screen and PowerPoint. Okay, so just a reminder, this is what day 2 spelling looks like. So I'm pointing like you guys can see my finger. We're going to start at our mystery word. So I'm going to go ahead and give you our mystery word and feel free to grab a piece of paper to write on. So our mystery word today is the word cow. Cow. The cow jumped over the moon. The cow was at the farm. So first think about how many sounds you're going to use in the word cow. And then what letters do we use to represent those sounds? I'm going to give you about 10 more seconds to write our word. Remember how we spell the ow sound. Okay, so in the word cow, we have k, ow. So we just have those two sounds. And our first sound is k. And we know a couple different ways to spell k. But when it's at the beginning of a word, we always use C because there are so many more words in our English language that start with this letter, or the letter C, not K. So if we aren't sure which letter it is, we always want to guess C. So for our first letter, we have C for cow, and then we have the ow sound. There are two ways to spell ow. We have OU and OW. And in the word cow, just like how and now, we're going to use the OW. Okay? If you spelled it correctly, give yourself a big round of applause. Yay! If you did not spell our word cow correctly, go ahead and take a minute and get it spelled correctly on your paper. So cow, C-O-W. Great work. Okay, so our first sentence today is, how could I make a round box? Now, I know not all of us have this nice lined paper with the dots in the middle. Parents, you can always make it with a pencil, but that can be a kind of a lot of work too. So when we don't have those lines, boys and girls, we want to remember that we still make our big letters all even in the same height. And then we have our middle letters, and then all of our letters should always touch whatever line we're writing on. So even though I don't have any lines, I'm still going to draw a line along the bottom so I make sure my sentence is straight. So I have, how could I make, and then draw a new line, a round box? Question mark. So as you can see on mine, my H is the same height as my L and my D and my I and my K, because those are all tall letters that would normally touch the top of our lines. If we come down here, our D and our B are the same height. And then all of those half letters, like an A, R, O, U, N, O, X, they're all the same height. We don't have a bunch of different heights in our letters, right? We have tall, medium, that's it, tall and medium. Okay, and then all of my letters touch that bottom of this line. They're not all over the place, right? So go ahead and use your very best handwriting to write our sentence, how could I make a round box? And I'm going to move on. So if you are not done writing the sentence, go ahead and pause the video, okay? Our second line is normally used to describe a second sentence. So what that means is that it means that we're missing something. This is a question. we're missing a part of this story. So the story is, how can I make a round box? Well, that doesn't really make a ton of sense. So what detail do you think we need to add? If someone was reading this and we added just one more sentence, what could kind of be added to this story? So I'm going to click to the next slide, and we have a bunch of different things that we think about. You know, what, where, the size of something, the color of something, its shape, its background, is it moving? Okay, so how could I make a round box? So what's a detailed sentence that we could add to this story? Okay, so I think I could make a round blue box by cutting it in a circle. Okay, or I don't know how to make a round box, but I could make a red square box. So whatever you want to add for your second detailed sentence, go ahead and do that now, okay? And then I want you to go ahead and pause this video, and I'm going to move on to the second sentence, but make sure you give yourself plenty of time to add that second sentence. And boys and girls, normally when we do this in class, we do get to draw a picture of our sentences as well. So if you have the time, take the time to add, to draw a really detailed picture of this sentence and then the next one as well, okay? All right. Our second sentence today says, would you get down from that tree? Would you get down from that tree? So once again, I'm going to take my marker and I'm going to use my very neatest handwriting to write this sentence. And I'm going to draw it so I make sure all my letters touch that bottom line. All my tall letters are the same height. All my middle letters are the same height. My Y sits on the line and comes down. My G does the same thing. Would you get down from that tree? Make sure we have our question mark at the end. So once again, my tall letters are all the same. You know, my W, my L, my D, the D down here, our F, our T, our H, okay? And then all those middle letters are the same, and then everything is touching that bottom line. Our Y and our G come and hang down below, okay? So they don't sit up on the line. Sometimes we like to draw our Ys like this, okay? We want to make sure that our Y sits on the line. Same with our G. Sometimes we like to draw G's like this. We want to make sure that our G sits on the line. Okay, just because we don't have lined paper doesn't mean we still can't use our very neatest handwriting. Okay, so would you get down from that tree? Okay, remember, after you're done writing in your very neatest handwriting, you're going to do the same thing you did with the first sentence and add a second detail. For this one, you could answer the question, no, I will not get down from the tree. I'm too high. Or, yes, I will get down from the tree because you asked me to. Okay, or you could say, I need you to get down from the tree because it's unsafe, right? So you can kind of do whatever you want to add a second sentence to our story we have here. Because when I hear, would you get down from that tree, I'm picturing a little kid way up high in a big tree and their parent being like, would you get down from that tree? So be thinking about what you might want to add to the sentence, okay? And then remember that we always can draw our picture as well. So, okay, so here are just kind of the instructions. Normally we copy our sentences down to our page. We want to circle those spelling words that we see that are in our sentences. And then when we write another sentence about that image, okay? So I'm going to come back to this page to just remind you of our spelling words that are here down here at the bottom. And then if you want to draw a picture of each one, you can, all right? What you're going to do now is you are going to pick 4 spelling words. And I'm just going to use my whiteboard to show you. And I'm just going to draw a grid on my whiteboard. You can do this on a piece of paper. You can fold it if you'd like. And you're going to just pick 4 of the spelling words and draw a picture and represent them with a picture. If you have time, use your words to describe the picture that you drew. okay? So if I think about the word could, okay? I think about I could help you cook dinner, right? So I would draw a picture of me, and I would not use a stick person because I know how to draw people with hands and faces, but I'm using a big marker, so it's kind of hard. And I would probably draw someone else because I'm asking someone or I'm telling someone that I could help them in the kitchen. Okay, maybe I'll draw an oven because they're cooking dinner. And remember, we always, our people don't float in the air. Hopefully, no one has a kitchen with that unsteady of ground. That'd be pretty hard to cook in, wouldn't it? Okay. All right. So I drew my picture. I would color it in. I'd add some details. And then if I have time, I can say, oops, I was thinking of the other one. I can, okay, Carly, Mrs. Oberish, I could help you cook dinner. And I underline that word could because that's my spelling word. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I used over 5 words to use my spelling word in a sentence. Okay. So this is what you're going to do for 4 of the words. When you're finished, if you would like, you can have someone take a picture of your work and post it onto the Google Doc, or you can just type your sentences into the Google Doc, or you can just be done and you don't have to worry about showing it to me. I trust you guys to get it done. Okay. All right, as always, let me know if you have any questions about what you need for spelling today. But remember that I went quickly just so this video wasn't 30 minutes long, that you need to pause the video so that you aren't trying to rush through your work, okay? All right, see you later, first grade. I kind of want to bring it back out so I can do my little dance for you again. See you later, first grade. Did you guys see that my helper, like what did she last? 10 seconds? You guys, laziest helper of all time. Unbelievable. All right. See you later.